All right. Glasses off. It's mummy time.
Will you stop playing with those? You know, this is why you failed bartending school. Unbelievable. Welcome back to the Out of Touch podcast. I'm Chris. That's Bill. And today we're watching
Go on.
The Mummy Returns from 2001, directed by Stephen Sommers. So, Bill, what did you think of The Mummy Returns?
The mummy sure did return.
Yeah. It's funny rewatching this movie because I don't know how to go about it. I still like it. It definitely seems more complicated than the first one.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Like, almost immediately, it's kind of like, 2001s. They're like, check out these amazing cutting-edge computer effects. Like, look at all these people and stuff.
We also rushed a lot of it. We finished The Scorpion King 8 weeks before the premiere.
That is insanity.
It also explains a lot.
Yeah. I will say visual effects in this movie do look good,
Sometimes.
but also look bad sometimes.
Yes, it's very hit and miss.
Very infamous.
Yes.
But, I don't know how to go about talking about The Mummy Returns.
Well, we're back with the O'Connells. Evie, Rick O'Connell, Jonathan.
Yes.
Now they got a son. It's been like about 8 or so years, maybe 9, maybe 10. I don't know. Something like that. It's 1933.
Yeah. Both seasoned adventurers now.
Literally living in Wayne Manor.
Yeah, pretty much.
No,
Yeah.
I actually think that's the Wayne Manor that they later used in Batman Begins.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. Rewatching it, it's been a while since I've seen The Mummy Returns. I feel like I've seen the first Mummy like a million times, and this one I've seen quite a few times, but not as many.
I feel like I've probably seen them about as much as each other.
Yeah. But, I guess this was like the big movie because like the first one was very successful, and then this one they're like, all right, big sequel time. We're going to add a kid. We're going to have a cartoon show. Like,
We got one of the biggest wrestlers in the world, and we're going to spin him off to his own movie.
yes, the on-screen debut of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as the Scorpion King.
But maybe not the same Scorpion King?
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, I think they've said it's like his descendant or something. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
The one from the Scorpion King movie and this guy, I guess, are separate people, which, in fairness, makes way more sense.
I guess so.
Because that guy was pretty heroic. This other guy, marauding conqueror.
Yeah, he just pretty much wants to, like, sack the city.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like his motivation is he just wants to sack the city. Why?
Conquer.
Because, yeah.
He just wants to conquer.
Yeah. And then they defeat him, and then he just, like, is forced to wander in the desert.
Yep. And he makes a deal with the evil god or whatever and becomes a Scorpion Man.
Pretty sure it was Anubis.
I don't
Because
remember.
god of death. I think Anubis is the god of death.
Fair. It's fair. The only Egyptian god I remember the name of is Ra.
Okay. Some god.
Yeah.
But Anubis is definitely the cool one. He's got the dog head and shit.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, Mummy Returns. It's complicated. There's like reincarnation going on and
But not like-
visions.
Indirect reincarnation, because it's not like I'm a reincarnation, but you still have to get the soul back to be a full-on reincarnation. I'm a reincarnation physically, and I have echoes of the memories, but if you want me to be this person, you got to do like a magical ritual to bring the soul back.
Yeah, pretty much. I always thought it was weird too in this movie how like Imhotep comes back. They just are like, oh yeah, like even though he was like defeated,
His body fell in goo. They dug him out of the goo.
yeah,
They performed a ritual. They brought the undead demon back to life.
guess so. Just I thought that goo was more powerful.
No,
Didn't dissolve him or
No.
anything. It's just like,
just contained him.
yeah,
It solidified and they dug him out.
guess so.
It's fine.
I mean,
It was very vague goo.
that's true. It's just like it's just mummy goo. It's
Yeah,
like, is that a thing? Yeah.
Yeah,
Of course it's a thing. Haven't you ever seen Ghostbusters?
sure.
Ectoplasm and whatever.
Whatever that mood slime was called.
Yeah. It's funny because I feel like this movie like is trying to feel like bigger than the other one, but like in some ways like it doesn't feel as big as the other one to me, just because like I don't know. It's hard to explain. They definitely go to more places.
Eventually.
Yeah.
They do spend a good half hour or so in London.
Yeah. Rewatching this movie, I feel like I didn't like it as much as I remember liking it.
I honestly think I liked it about as much as I did the last time I
Yeah.
watched it, which was like, yeah, I had fun with this. Moving on.
Yeah, I guess so. Like, all the stuff with, like, you know, Rick is great. Like, he's a great character, Rick O'Connell. You know, good adventure type, like Indiana Jones and Nathan Drake kind of
literally-
combined.
He literally dresses like Indiana Jones for a minute,
He does, doesn't he?
but he's not afraid of snakes.
He's not.
He's catching him, he's throwing him.
I do love at the beginning of the movie when like they find like the tomb with like the scorpion bracelet, and like Evie is like going very carefully over the different scorpions and stuff and trying not to step on them, and he's just stomping on them like when he walks in. I'm like, yeah. He's just being very careful. He's just stomping on all of them. Like, just like,
Good character moments.
yeah. Yeah. I mean, also, like, it is kind of like, you know, they have the son in this movie. He's pretty fun. Like, he's not really, like, that annoying or anything, but it's kind of funny that, like, his parents are just, like, constantly, like, making out, and he's just like, God damn it. Like, you've got Evie's brother back in there, Jonathan, who, of course, somehow managed to lose all his money yet again. It's like, the guy just is all about like shady like card games and
Underhanded deals and nonsense like that.
yeah, I don't remember anything about the Mummy 3, and part of me is like, is he even in the Mummy 3, that guy?
Him and Brendan Fraser are the only ones that come back.
Wow, that's
Because Evie had to be recast,
right.
and the son was recast as well because he's played by someone older
Yeah.
and admittedly more boring.
Okay. Yeah.
The only thing I remember is he's running a nightclub called Imhotep's.
Okay.
So he didn't lose all his money this time.
It's good.
He managed to hold on to it, I guess. Unless something happens where it turns out he got like a loan on the building and it's like double foreclosed or something.
Who knows? I think it's interesting, like, Imhotep comes back in this movie and then, like, immediately kind of gets the thing he wanted in the first movie, because he gets a Nox Son of Moon, like, revived. And then he's
Well, he
just
gets
like,
he meets the reincarnation, and then later on he just kind of casually, he's like, here's your soul back. All right.
yeah. It's just like, all right, I got the thing, but you know what? Like, oh, it's the year of the scorpion? Well, I guess I'll get, like, Anubis power, too.
Why not? He has a massively large, unstoppable army.
Yeah.
His power plus that army, forget it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's kind of funny, though, because, you know, when you think too deeply about it, it's like, what if Imhotep wins? Then what happens? It's just like, hey, the world's under new management now. I hear you have something called nuclear bombs. That's pretty neat. But everybody's going to worship Anubis now, you know?
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
To be fair is fair. That I don't know if the army is endless, but it seemed pretty stoppable.
They're like made out of the dust.
You just got to aim for the head.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I mean, granted, we see a lot more coming, so maybe it is kind of endless. I don't know,
Yeah.
but it feels like you could fight it. Maybe, I don't know. It's still 1933, so there's no nukes or anything like that.
That's true. Yeah. I guess that's before that.
But I don't know, a couple biplanes. You go.
Yeah. I mean, that would have been a pretty cool scene. Seeing some biplanes shoot up like those undead soldiers or whatever they are.
Yeah.
During that big scene with all the magi fighting the undead army or whatever. But yeah, the plot of the movie is like just like complicated. It's just like, oh, like there's Evie, and I don't even know what a Nox Son of Moon's like actual name is before she gets like
It almost doesn't matter.
yeah.
You know, bringing those two up, there's always been a bit of a sticking point with this movie since I saw it when I was a kid. Because we see a flashback of them in their past lives, and they're fighting.
Yeah.
What are they fighting with, Chris?
Size.
In ancient Egypt, sai, a weapon from China and Japan. In ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
The hell?
I don't know. One could argue it's just like that fight scene alone is worth the price of admission.
I mean, look, I enjoyed the fight, but there's also that voice in my head like, those shouldn't be there. Just spotting an anachronism. They may as well be fighting with lightsabers.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess that's a big sticking point for historical accuracy. Then again, how much of this movie is actually historically accurate to ancient Egypt?
Nothing.
Especially when they show it in the past.
I mean, I'm sure none of it,
Yeah.
because it's a fantasy movie. But also, Sai, come on. She may as well whip out nunchucks.
They're like, they needed to fight with weapons that didn't cover their bodies.
You could have just had swords or daggers.
Guess so. I don't know. Maybe Egypt had size. It was technically for farming. Okay, they probably didn't, Bill. But Egypt had paper and China had paper, so maybe Egypt could have had size and China had size too. Listen, moving on. We got to see two hot girls in like bikinis fight each other with size. So
That's never a bad thing.
yeah, that's pretty good. So
But still,
it's pretty cool. I mean, like, I guess that's like jarring, but like, whatever.
it's not the most jarring thing in the movie that features that CGI Scorpion King.
I mean, yeah, it's been talked to death about. It's kind of a weird choice too. Like, why is he a monster all of a sudden?
I don't even care about the monster part. Why, for the close-ups, is he CGI? You couldn't just get The Rock for that part too?
Yeah, I guess so.
Like, no, what were they thinking?
It's a weird choice. It is a weird choice.
Even when I first saw it, I was like, whoa, why isn't that just The Rock?
Yeah, it's that PS2 character doing there. I mean, the whole movie is like just weird because it's like, you know, they build up the Scorpion King at the beginning of the movie, but then it's just like Imhotep as like the villain. And it's
Yeah.
just like kind of like, well, what's the deal with like the Scorpion King? And then,
It's basically just a race to who can kill the Scorpion King.
yeah,
Because if Imhotep kills him, he's got the army. He can unleash it upon the world. If Rick O'Connell does it, he could just be like, go away.
yeah. Or he could unleash the evil army on the world.
I guess that's an option. But he's not going to do that because he's a good guy.
I think there's too much like prophecy in this movie
Oh,
too that
yeah.
I
'cause
don't like.
There's all the reincarnation stuff with Evie, but then all of a sudden Rick O'Connell's got destiny
Yeah,
too.
he's-
All of a sudden he's got this mystical, mysterious tattoo on him, which means, oh, you're a destined man of God to do some superhero shit.
Yeah, also like he's just like, yeah, I got it in an orphanage in Cairo, and I'm like,
What?
you grew up in Egypt with that voice? How did that happen?
How did that happen?
Yeah,
Everyone said he was American.
I know. That's why I was just like, that kind of irks me more than anything in the movie, where it's just like, wait, so now he's from Egypt? Like, what happened?
There's a lot of missing lore here.
Yeah, because
Was any of it explained in the Saturday morning cartoon?
I have no idea. I do not remember anything about the Saturday morning cartoon except it exists.
The only thing I remember for sure is the kid had not this, but a different magic bracelet stuck on his arm.
Yeah, that's what I remember too. He had a bracelet on, and it lasted for like the entire show.
Which only lasted 2 seasons of 26 episodes.
That show was on longer than I remembered then. But it had a show. It was popular. Popular enough for a cartoon.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I do like the whole thing with like the bracelet on the kid and, you know, each like next phase of like trying to find like, I guess like where the gold pyramid is and where the Scorpion King is buried.
I mean, putting the thing on the kid justifies his presence in the story, because otherwise you'd spend the entire time being like, why is the kid here? What are you doing?
Yeah.
It's a child. Don't put the child in danger.
Yeah, he's a pretty smart kid. You know, he's got a Bart Simpson slingshot, I guess, which would technically be a Dennis the Menace slingshot, because that's where Bart Simpson got it from.
I mean, I think this is even before that.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So, in this universe, it was him.
All right.
Dennis the Menace stole it from him.
Yeah.
And then there was the other Dennis the Menace that debuted at the exact same time in England. I don't know if he had a slingshot.
Huh, weird. I didn't know there were two. But
There is. It's weird.
that is very weird. But yeah, like the whole hunt for the kid and everything to get to the Golden Pyramid, and then visions and destiny.
A lot of destiny.
Yeah, I think that's like one thing that just just irks me about it. It's like too much destiny. Everybody's too special.
I mean, it's all gone by the next movie anyway.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't remember anything about The Mummy 3.
I remember a couple things. I remember Jet Li was mostly a stone man, which means he probably wasn't on set most of the time. He turns into a three-headed dragon that looked like King Ghidorah. The son was played by a plank of wood. The aforementioned Imhotep's bar. And they addressed the Evie recast because she wrote a couple books based on these previous adventures and made a comment where it's like, oh, that feels like that those adventures happened to a different person. Boo! Boo!
Yeah.
Boo! Also, stop hurting Brendan Fraser.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he gets tossed around a lot in this movie, as he does in all the movies.
And it really hurt him,
Yeah.
especially in the third one, too, where he's held together with, like, glue, basically.
I will say this movie probably influenced a lot of my childhood, though, when I think about it, because, like, you know, it's like the Mummy movies were pretty popular. It was like, there was the cartoon, there was the adventure theme in Lego that pretty much was, like, kind of based off this movie, even though, like, it was indirectly, but, like, you had the main guy that kind of looked like Rick O'Connell, and then, like, there was an airship in that theme, which I'm like, there's an airship in this movie. Like,
That could be a coincidence.
yeah. I don't know how many Mummy things have airships in it, but I'm like, okay.
Probably just this,
Yeah.
because, you know, in terms of mummy movies, you know, you got all the black and white ones, and there's some Hammer horror ones, and then nothing really until this, and
Yeah.
the other one. And then, you know, whatever the hell that thing with Tom Cruise was.
Oh, yeah. Play a hilarious clip of Tom Cruise screaming.
That's a shame.
But anyway, yeah, you know, there's always things that jump out at me in this movie, like when the lady makes out with, like, Imhotep in his mummy form.
Oh,
and
that
I'm
was
like-
so gross.
I'm like, why? It's like, why would you do that?
Because love conquers all? Even gross undead corpses.
I guess so.
Yay, love?
Well, their love,
Yay.
their love wasn't that strong.
No, that was kind of messed up and hilarious. Because at the end, both him and Rick O'Connell are dangling over pits, and Rick O'Connell screams, Evie, go, run, save yourself. She comes, she saves him. Imhotep is like, darling, save me. And she just bolts.
Yeah, it's just like, no way.
And it's so sad because, like, we kind of linger on it for a second, and then he just lets go and plummets into hell or whatever.
Yeah,
And then she, I don't know, slips and falls on a banana peel and gets eaten by bugs or something.
scarabs. Fucking scarabs.
There might have been some scorpions in there, too.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, like,
The CG was kind of bad.
if anybody asks me, like, why do you not want to go to Egypt? Scarabs. It's like fucking scarabs. It's like, just, no. Not going anywhere in the vicinity of the Sahara Desert because of scarabs.
Yeah,
No,
that's-
thank you.
That's the reason to avoid the Sahara, not the blistering heat, endless desert.
And fucking scarabs, Bill. They go inside your skin and
It's
eat
a
your
movie.
brain.
It's a movie.
I know, but, you know, they might be real. Like Bigfoot.
Aren't scarabs real?
They are real.
So what do you
I don't think they go into your skin.
No.
Or maybe they do. I don't know.
I don't want to run into one.
Yeah. I'm just saying, it's like Australia. Fucking scarabs.
Yeah, let's get a bucket full. We'll dump them on you. See what happens.
Man. Like, that still as, like, as ever in the movie.
I mean, it must have been nice and satisfying when they just light a whole bunch of them on fire.
Yeah, that's true. Man, that one thing just comes up at the beginning of the movie, and then just a bunch of scarabs come out, and they're just, like, eating all the people.
Got the one guy who's like trying to get him off his shirt, but they're inside him. He's like, ah!
It's like the alien thing, man. It goes inside your body. I'm like, no. I don't like that.
It's the one place I can't squish you.
Yeah. Seriously. Gross. But yeah. Yeah, it's very, very weird. Like, honestly, like, the Golden Pyramid in, like, the weird jungle with, like, the tiny, like, I guess they're, like, pygmies or whatever.
Yeah,
they
tiny
call 'em.
pygmy mummies.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, they're pretty, like, scary and weird, and I remember that one part with, like, the one guy who was, like, the main guy trying to, like, be like, oh, Imhotep, I'm here to, like, rescue and stuff, and he's with, like, those two guys, and he's just like, you must sacrifice yourself so I may live, or something, and he just, like, runs away.
That does lead to one of my favorite moments a little later when he gets grabbed by a scorpion king and Imhotep, please save me! And Imhotep's just like, why?
Yeah.
The casualness of it too is hilarious.
Yeah.
It's just like, why? This fucking guy.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, Imhotep kind of like gets like screwed over when like he's like, yeah, I'm gonna fight the Scorpion King, and then like Anubis is like, I'm gonna take away your powers. You gotta fight him as a man. But he's like a monster. It's like, nope, them's the rules.
Man versus monster,
Yeah.
not monster versus monster. We blew the budget. We can't afford that fight.
Yeah. And then Imhotep immediately is a bitch, where he's just like, oh, I'm here to serve you, Scorpion King.
Well, fair is fair. He was trying to play it smart. He's trying to let him be distracted by Rick so he could sneak up on him and kill him. Problem is, he failed.
Yeah,
Rick O'Connell killed him,
he did.
leading to that weird, awkward moment where Rick O'Connell stabs Scorpion King, and then he just awkwardly runs into frame and goes, "No!"
That's right. Why?
It's like it's like an editing problem,
Yeah.
or something. I don't know if it was a staging problem or a editing problem or a combination of the two. But there's just like an awkward pause, and he just runs in and goes, "No!"
It also has like the whole thing with like Evie dying and then being brought back to life.
And Rick both notices, and he doesn't acknowledge that she's back.
Yeah.
He's just like, "Evie, run! Save yourself!" Wait a minute, Evie! Like, that should have been a line.
Yeah.
Because last time you saw her, she was dead.
Yeah, she was super dead.
He didn't know his son was grabbing the Book of the Dead to resurrect her magically,
Yeah.
which would have unfortunate consequences.
Yeah.
Yeah, her face magically changed.
Oh.
Hey,
There we go.
I'm offering an explanation.
There we go. Yeah. You know, also, get back with the Destiny thing for a second. Magic sword that they had the whole time. That's the only thing that can kill the Scorpion King. It's like, come on.
I mean, there's like an element where it's like, okay, I believe in fate now.
Yeah.
Because he's literally spelled out for him. He's like, okay, I'm a believer.
Yeah. With all those critiques, I still do like the movie. Maybe it's some nostalgia, but like,
I mean, there's fun to it.
Yeah.
The bus chase is fun. Most of the action is enjoyable. It's
Yeah.
funny. It doesn't take itself that seriously.
no, it doesn't.
It does follow kind of the formula of the first one a bit. Maybe a little too much because, like, oh, we need a pilot. Let's go get that pilot guy. And,
Yeah.
you know,
He's a crazy character, too.
does better than the last one.
He at least survives. I do like that pilot where he's just like, last time I helped you, you shot me in the ass.
I don't think he shot him. He's like, I got shot in the ass.
I got shot in the ass, that's right. Yeah, Izzy. I will say, like, Rick O'Connell is a great character. Like, you know, I know there's another Mummy movie after this, but it's just like, he's a cool character. You know, when they did that Mummy reboot, they should have just been like, yeah, we should just, like, redo Rick O'Connell, like, or something, but...
Who are you going to get to replace Brendan Fraser?
Well, I
I
don't
mean, I
think-
guess they got Tom Cruise, but it
Yeah.
didn't work, did it?
I mean, that was like a whole other situation where it's just like, it's in modern times. Haha.
We're trying to do a Marvel thing.
Yeah.
We have our own Shield and our own Nick Fury, but he's also Jekyll and Hyde.
What were they thinking? I don't know.
They were thinking we can make lots of money.
Maybe one day I should watch that movie just to be like, how is this movie really? And I'll be like, it wasn't bad.
And I'll just be like, oh, you watched The Mummy? How was it? I fell asleep. Oh,
Yeah.
so how was it? I fell asleep.
That probably tracks. But yeah, The Mummy Returns. It's all right. It's got a pretty cool fight between two girls fighting with sais in ancient Egypt.
And in the
Right.
present day.
Yeah.
Happens twice. Also, it has a spin-off prequel, which has its own spin-off prequel and sequels that they keep making.
Yeah, The Mummy Returns did spawn a lot of stuff.
A lot of Scorpion Kings.
Yeah, a lot of Scorpion Kings, a cartoon show that lasted way longer than I thought it did. And
Which isn't much,
yeah, and I guess one more Mummy movie.
which they took way too long to make.
They really did, because I think that other movie came out in like 2010 or something.
It was 08.
Okay, so
Still a long time.
yeah, it took them a while, like over 5 years to get to it. Yeah, The Mummy Returns. It's an okay movie. It's got some wonky CGI,
Some very wonky CGI.
which I guess it would just be too expensive for them to like fix some of that in like any like releases. where
They
they're, like-
just only George Lucas did shit like that.
I guess
man.
that's true, and I guess Steven Spielberg did it that one time.
And he vowed to never do it again.
Yeah, But yeah, I guess only George Lucas does it. But maybe this movie could need that though.
I mean, that one channel, YouTube channel, Corridor Crew, they took a stab at it.
Yeah, but why a monster? Scorpion Monster Man.
I don't have a problem with that. Scorpion Monster Man is not the problem with that. The problem is they made a CGI human in 2001.
Yeah, that's true.
They can barely get that right now in 2024.
Yeah, but Mummy Returns. It's a pretty fun movie. Just don't think about it too much.
Sigh! In ancient Egypt!